everybody, this is Ken again with Xmods Gaming, shooting another video. So this video is going to be about the Super Game Boy. And the Super Game Boy was, I think, around 1994, so I don't know if there's a copyright on here, but yeah, copyright 1989, but basically this is for playing Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. And you just put the games in like that. Some game cartridges will say, have a little colored emblem there saying it could be played on a Super Game Boy game pack. So what I'm doing is I'm just underclocking the clock circuitry in the Super Game Boy, because the Super Game Boy runs about 2.5 megahertz more faster than the actual Game Boy, which can kind of be annoying when let's say you're jumping as far as platform gaming, and you're not able to everything's just moving a little bit faster, so you're just not used to it when you're doing that kind of thing. So this clock circuitry I got from a company named I guess it's pronounced Tindy. So yeah, I don't know if it's a person or a company, but I found it on the internet, because other mods like this require pulling up a chip and installing a clock crystal, and basically just messing with everything. Real pain, and the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So yeah, this is a little board you get for I paid with shipping, $4 for shipping in the United States, $15 for the circuit board itself. Let's see if we can zoom up on it. I think they have their little website on the back. Super Game Boy. See if I'll zoom it. Clock mod version 3. So yeah, pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to install this because, like I said, it's the easiest one to do, and I like easy. I don't want something that's complicated. It's the reason why I'm doing it. So it should be kind of mod friendly. This is a game bit. I suggest buying one of these offline. This is for taking out Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and I think even Nintendo 64 game cartridges apart. So they have a special star. It's known as a game bit in the industry. This is a 3.8 millimeter. And you can actually buy a driver. Seems how I already have a screwdriver. This didn't come with it, but I just needed a bit that fit in there. And you can usually find these bits for about, I'd say $5 or so. They're not very expensive. Sometimes up to 10, it depends. If you want to get it right away, usually you have to pay more for some reseller in the States. But I would probably go to eBay to find them. Probably Amazon, you can find them as well. So you just want to do your 4 screws. Now apparently there's a Model 2. It was called the Super Game Boy 2. It was only released in Japan. That fixed the problem, so Nintendo knew about the problem. Let's see. Okay, so apparently you have to undo these screws. I did not know that going into this. I'm just gonna see if I have a driver sitting right here. So this is just for the cartridge, basically for the Game Boy throat. So when you insert the Game Boy game goes in there. And then you just want to set that aside, and then, all right, so what we want to remove is C15, which is down here, and right next to it is going to be R7. So we want to remove those two. One's a capacitor, one's a resistor. So C15 is the capacitor, R7 is the resistor. So I'm using the blade tip on my. I know I like this tip so much I haven't even removed it off my iron. So I'm just gonna use this blade tip here, and then what you want to do, just to make it flow easier, I'm just gonna use this is Chip Quick Flux. This is this model CQ4LF. I don't know if that matters. I just found this off of Amazon. I want to say I would recommend it or not recommend it. It's just I heard about the company and it seems to be pretty good. And then this is just Radio Shack soldering iron, lead free. Apparently you can still get leaded solder. I didn't know that. Well, actually I kind of knew it, but you know, some people like to use the leaded stuff because it flows easier. So what I'm going to do is remove C15. So I'm just going to add some solder to the pads here, and then just float it off. Okay, yep. Sometimes these parts are so small they're hard to see. So C15 and R7. So R7's right next to it. And this is on the bottom right of the board when you turn it around. All right, just got stuck on my tip. And then basically just want to be careful to not knock off anything next to it, because you got, you know, R5 and then C13. And then looks like R1 we need to remove. And when you get this kit, there's no guide to it, so I would just refer to this video. So R1 is what you want to remove right above this chip. Okay, we're just going to add our flux again. Just flux it up. So it looks Looks like it's a 510K resistor. Kilo ohm. I believe that's what it stands for. Alright. Just gonna add some solder right here. And then you gotta be careful because there's this big IC chip. Okay, so yeah. That's all it takes is you just heat up both and then just flow it. I'm just gonna use an alcohol wipe to clean this up because I don't have any rubbing alcohol near me. Eventually you want to clean the pins too, you know. All right. And then right here by C5 is where this board's gonna live. So you want to put it between right here on the leg of C5 at the end, and then solder it up. So let's see if you can see that. I'm gonna just try to zoom on that as much as possible. All right, so down here we got C15 and R7 removed, and then C5, and then right there by R1, those solder pads, I believe we tie them both to that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tack this in. So I'm gonna come in with my flux pin. And then, oh, dang. All right, so I'm gonna add some solder there. I'm just gonna see if I could just tack it in. All right, so right now I just got it tacked in to place. And then I can still see the two solder pads with the with R1. All right, so I'm just gonna, whoops, kind of moved on me. All right, there we go. So just so it doesn't move on us anymore, I'm gonna go ahead and flux up these joints right here. This is a no clean flux, so You don't have to clean it off the board, but you can after when you're done. Let's see. All right, sorry, I bumped you guys a little bit. So basically, you just want to heat up the joint as you add the solder in. Okay, so that looks like a pretty good joint there. And then this ground plane right here, all right. All right, so you kind of just want to flood solder it. And it's looking pretty good right now. And what I'm doing now is just I'm tacking on, just making sure that joint has a good fillet in it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is we're gonna give it a clean and then we'll give it a test. All right, so right now I'm just going ahead and we're just getting the board. Seems how while we have it out, we just want to clean it up and then you know, remove all the corrosion off these copper, or not copper, but brass. And I just use 91% isopropyl alcohol. You can use 70, but less water is better. 91% is kind of hard to find sometimes. Some people get the stuff you can only get at the hardware store, like the steel, whatever. You don't have to get that. I would say 91% or 99% if you can find that. All right. So now, just to get all the flux off, this is a WD-40 contact quick drying cleaner. So you can just spray, and this stuff just dries really quick. And this just removes any flux residue left behind. You know, so yeah, you could totally probably skip the you know, use an alcohol wipe or something in the beginning and just wait till the end. And then what I like to also do is this, where the Game Boy cart goes in there while we're here, you know, we can just spray our contact cleaner in there. And then even take the game and just slide it a couple times. And that will just clean out that cartridge, the contacts in there. So yeah, you can use any contact cleaner. It doesn't have to be WD-40. And then, yeah, that way it's gonna slow down our Game Boy games to the proper Game Boy clock speed, and we can play them appropriately. And you know, you kind of have to experience it for yourself if this kind of mod is something you want to do. You know, maybe some people get used to at running the games. It's only like 2.5 megahertz. But I would say like Tetris, for example, I can't play Tetris on the last level on B mode 9. So yeah, it's impossible on here, but on actual Game Boy I could do it. So yeah, a lot of people refuse to play on this because it's clocked a little bit higher and stuff. So this is a good way to underclock it. So let's go ahead and give it a test. All right, let's go ahead and give it a test on the Super Nintendo. I'm gonna go ahead and power it on. All right, so we're gonna go 1, go type B. Yeah, so far everything's working. It seems to play a lot better. This is on the hardest level on B mode. You can tell the Game Boy Color, or the Game Boy, this cartridge adds a little bit more, sorry, I messed that up. Adds a little bit more color to it, as far as the Super Game Boy does. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. But yeah, if I'm 100% focused, it definitely feels a lot better. Sometimes the music sounds different on certain games, so it sounds right to me. I should have shot a comparison video, but I don't have much time for making videos. But yeah, see, I left a big hole there, but you kind of get how the Super Game Boy works with this underclock mod. I'm going to leave a link in the video description. If you like videos like these and you're a hobbyist like I am, you know, I don't get that many hits or views on YouTube. So please leave me a like, that would be appreciated. Comment below, and also subscribe if you want to see more. You never know when I'm going to have time for another video. So if you want to be surprised, go ahead and subscribe, click that bell so you can get a notification on your YouTube app. And this is Ken with Xmods Gaming. Until next time.